Welcome to another episode of Invest Smart with Steadily. I'm CJ Long, and today we're going to be covering a topic that most landlords don't know a ton about, the insurance claims process. As we go through each step, we're going to cover what to do when you get that dreaded call from your tenant saying, "There's water everywhere. A pipe just burst in the bathroom." First up, that frantic phone call. It's going to be important for you to remain calm and help your tenant take immediate action. Ask them to shut off the main water valve if they can safely do so, and move any valuables away from the water to prevent further damage. You as the landlord need to know where the main water valve is and how to shut it off. A pro tip here is going to be to provide tenants with an emergency guide when they move in that shares with them the location of the valve, emergency contact information, etc. Step 2 and 3 are going to go hand in hand, but I'm going to talk about them one at a time. Step 2 is going to be mitigation and temporary repairs. Most policies are going to require that you take steps to mitigate any future damage. This is a critical step. This could involve having a plumber replace the burst pipe, having a tarp put on the roof to prevent from storm damages. While there may be certain exclusions for wear and tear related to the pipe bursting, most policies do cover costs for reasonable emergency measures in order to prevent future claims. Regardless, taking steps to prevent this future damage is going to be a requirement under most policy contracts, and failing to do so could impact coverage for the loss. So in that pipe burst example, in that water example, it's never going to be a good move to let water sit for days unaddressed without contacting a mitigation company. Water doesn't get better with time. Make the necessary phone calls, get the process moving, and last but not least on this step, make sure you're taking photos, documenting damages, and retaining any invoices or correspondence associated with it. The next step is going to be step 3, reporting the claim. Again, remember, this goes hand in hand with step 2 and 3. You need to report the claim to your insurance provider as soon as possible. In Steadily's case, we allow for claims reporting both online and over the phone. Make sure you're checking with your specific insurance provider as to how they accept claims reports. On the initial report, you're going to provide information about what occurred, what all is damaged, and you're also going to outline any other information pertaining to the event itself. Maybe the tenant's displaced and you're missing out on rent. Maybe the plumber already came and replaced the pipe. You're going to provide those specifics as well. You're also going to have an opportunity here to send in all photos, invoices, plumber reports, mitigation reports, whatever information you have regarding the steps you took in number 2. Most claims adjusters here are going to proactively provide you with the information on how to send that in. Again, specific to us at Steadily, we're able to receive that information via text, email, whatever is the best route for you. Coming up on step 4, the adjuster's inspection. Once your claim is filed, you're going to have a claims adjuster assigned to your claim. Sometimes that adjuster will be the individual physically coming out to inspect the property. Other times, they will assign a secondary adjuster or a field adjuster to come out and inspect your property. Either way, the purpose of this is to schedule an inspection in order to write an estimate. The adjuster is going to contact you, schedule an inspection, typically taking a few days from the time you first report it. For a landlord, something to keep in mind here is that availability and communication matters. Sometimes as a landlord, you may be local to the property and it's easy for you to get by for the inspection. Other times you may be states away and you have a property manager involved. It's going to be critical that whomever is going to be present at the time of the property inspection, that their contact information is shared with the adjuster so that the property can be inspected promptly. During that inspection, they're going to evaluate the damages, take photographs of the damages, and at this time, if you've got any physical invoices or documents, this is a great opportunity for you to provide them at this point. This is all happening when there's a physical inspection taking place. There will be some other opportunities or options where your provider may allow you to do a virtual inspection using a mobile application where you or the property manager can photograph the damages yourselves, and then an estimate can be written off of that. Moving on to step 5, reviewing the estimate and now the settlement offer, the time where the money comes. So after the inspection, this adjuster is going to provide an estimate of the repair costs. They're going to review the damage, the labor associated with the repairs, and any materials that are needed to restore the property to pre-loss condition. Once this estimate's complete, the adjuster typically will also review the policy and ensure that coverage applies. Coverage is applied based on the cause of loss and what is damaged. And oftentimes a coverage determination can't be made until after the inspection is completed and a cause of loss is appropriately determined. For example, going back again to the pipe burst example in this water loss, there is a difference in coverage between a loss caused by a pipe bursting and groundwater entering in through the walls of the basement. The pipe burst is generally covered, or the ensuing water damage relating to the pipe burst is generally covered, whereas water damage as a result of groundwater coming into the basement generally is not. So it's important for you to understand that oftentimes a coverage determination can't be arrived at until after this inspection is completed. Once this is done, the insurance company is going to offer a settlement amount based on the policy coverage limits and the deductibles. Step 6, completing the repairs and then finalizing this claim. Payments issued. It's time for the repairs to start. Depending on your policy, the insurance company might issue a payment directly to you, or if there's a mortgagee, it will likely be a two-party check. Oftentimes, this is a point of contention in the claims process, but one thing to know is that if you have a mortgage on your property, the mortgagee has a financial interest in that property still. As such, when a payment is issued to repair damages, the mortgagee's interest must be protected, and that is why a two-party check oftentimes is required in these instances. As you go through the repair process, keep in mind that any additional damages that are discovered, you need to make sure you're notifying your adjuster immediately. They may need to reassess and adjust the claim accordingly. If you notify your contractor and provide them with the claims adjuster information, oftentimes the claims adjuster can work directly with the contractor to resolve these discrepancies. If it seems too low, or if there are discrepancies, again, make sure you are letting the adjuster know prior to proceeding with repairs. Make sure you're notifying them in advance. And there you have it, a step-by-step guide to navigating the landlord insurance process in the event of a burst pipe or any other loss that may happen to your property. While dealing with an insurance claim can be stressful, trust me, I know. Unfortunately, I've had some of them myself. Knowing these steps in advance can help you handle the situation with confidence. Make sure you're taking the steps that you need to get your property back to normal as quickly as possible. Thanks again for tuning in to Invest Smart. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to subscribe below and leave us a review. And as always, stay informed and stay protected with Steadily.